A couple of commenters on my previous video mentioned how the scenario Good to Go was possible to not only get an easy Archangel rank, but also complete in even fewer days than my Key to Victory run. Even talking about how to do it in as little as 3 or 4 days. Naturally, I just had to find out whether or not this is possible. If you have any other interesting ideas or challenges you would like me to do, feel free to leave them in a comment. And subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Let's just dive into it. Let's try to speedrun this. Most of you have probably played Good to Go before. The cool thing about this scenario is the fact that you start with your town almost fully built up, even including the Grail structure, but missing the faction-specific buildings, like stables for castle for instance. The map size is small. You can play as either red in the northwest corner or blue in the southeast corner. Orange is always stronghold in the southwest corner, and green is always fortress in the northeast corner. Both factions starting with 2 heroes with 200 of their tier 1 unit and a mostly built up town. The goal? Defeat all enemies. The goal for me? Defeat them in as little time as possible. Right off the bat, the most obvious way to attack this scenario is to abuse Dimension Door. In order to learn this spell, you need Expert Wisdom. In order to cast it as much as possible, you need Air Magic, preferably Expert level. Your starting hero starts at level 5, meaning you can begin the scenario with both of these. Not a lot of heroes can start with this combination, but there are a few, and most notably, Astral from Tower and Brissa and Ainane from Conflux. I go for Conflux and Brissa. Blue is set as Tower in order to take advantage of their Grail bonus, and the starting bonuses are picked to hit a specific seed. More on RNG manipulation can be found in a previous video of mine linked below. Entering combat with the southwestern creatures in my biome and then resetting 4 times, I find my seed. A Brissa with Expert Wisdom and Advanced Air Magic. Good start. Conflux has a major advantage. The Grail makes your mage skill teach every spell, so I will always have the ability to know Dimension Door and fly, which will become useful later. In this seed, there's also a useful artifact in the town's artifact merchant, Necklace of Dragon Teeth. Picking this one up and recruiting the 2 phoenixes, I head straight for orange. I move south a bit, then DD into the darkness. Obviously, I've practiced where to end up, so I'm not doing this blind of course. I then DD again and end up next to a magic well, which lets me regain spell points in order to DD a last time this day. I waltz in and take Orange's town. I then use some of my remaining gold to recruit the available army, and then recruit Labitha in my main town. Her job is to make sure Green doesn't venture too far west by walking towards them. If you paid attention, you might have noticed a combination artifact guarded by some hydras. For some reason, the artifact this looks to be is never the artifact it actually is. So this Statue of the Legion is in reality a much more powerful artifact. Power of the Dragon Father. Using Fly, I just move in behind the hydras and pick it up. When mapping this seed, I sometimes forgot to make room for Power of the Dragon Father, because I have 2 artifacts already equipped in its slots. Hope I'm not the only one who's done that. And here we see the rest of the strategy behind the Conflux pick. Armageddon. Phoenixes are immune to Armageddon, not that it matters with the Power of the Dragon Father, but if I didn't get this artifact, Armageddon immunity would be really nice. A 1030 Armageddon damage on day 2 is quite nice, and I just wipe Yogg off the face of Arathia. The necklace buy comes in handy now, as I have enough spell points to still cast Dimension Door this turn. Stopping by the magic wall again, I erase Oris from existence, and Orange is down. Alright, moving on. We head for blue. Labitha just does whatever in the meantime. I DD once into blue's biome, then I DD again, before I prepare my troops for a massive riveting battle, going back and forth all the time. JK. I take their town with a well-placed Armageddon cast and get full vision of the map. I skillfully maneuver towards Blue's last hero, defying the laws of physics with Dimension Door once again, and even Thane's Iron Golems can't stand up against the power of Armageddon. None of the skill ups are really necessary to finish this map any quicker, so I just pick whatever. I DD west towards the Magic Spring for another spell point recovery, getting double my normal max amount of points. Malcolm is then beaten, Verdish as well, before Korvac is putting up a fight. In a normal setting, these arrow towers would be a problem, as he could just turtle up behind his fortifications. But we come prepared. One Armageddon is not enough, and he still has 232 nulls left. Arrow towers kill one of my phoenixes, but thankfully I have an ace up my sleeve. Implosion. 1675 damage on day 4, that's not too shabby. With green gun as well, this is a fairly convincing 4-day win. But I'm not satisfied. I think I can go faster. The commenter did mention doing it in 3 days, and I can't be any worse, can I? I did the Brissa run, now I try for the A-Nane run, since they can start with Expert Wisdom and Expert Air Magic as well. But how can the 4-day win be improved? Well, speed in this case isn't just about pure velocity, it's also about stamina. A convoluted way to say that I want more movement points. So I want to take advantage of the artifact merchant. I want movement point artifacts. Luckily for me, I found one seed with both Boots of Speed and Equestrian's Gloves. Good to Go starts you off with 50,000 gold. After buying the artifacts, I have just 5,000 left. After buying the phoenixes, 1,000 left. Perfect. The general strategy is mostly the same. I go for orange first, then blue, then green. But there are some twists along the way. Expert Wisdom and Expert Air lets me DD straight for orange, stopping by the magic wall again to refill my spell points, before DDing down for the first deviation from the day 4 win, taking on Oris on day 1. I use my remaining spell points to lightning bolt the top goblin stack, before hitting the same stack with both my phoenixes after waiting. I then lightning bolt the bottom goblin stack, before hitting the top stack twice again. Turn 3, I move out of reach with my phoenixes, and on turn 4, I kill the top stack before magic arrowing the remaining stack, leaving me with 0 spell points. Then I hit the goblins over and over again with my phoenixes, before Oris is a coward and flees. But can you really blame her? I have just enough movement points to reach the orange town, which lets me regain my spell points after ending my turn. Day 2, and look at my movement points. How insane is this? Okay, although the artifact behind the Black Dragons looks like a Pandora's box, it's actually a much cooler artifact. Armageddon's Blade. I fly to pick it up, visit the magic well again, and then DD to the tile to the right of Yogg. Minor note, I just looked up Yogg, and apparently Yogg is a he? Well, I probably will continue to call Yogg a her, but yeah, anyway. Just destroying her with Armageddon. Nice. Orange gone. On to blue. I DD as far southeast as I possibly can, and what do you know? 2 blue heroes right there. Who would have guessed? Well, I would. Mapping out seeds lets me know precisely how each day plays out, and I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, Halon is no match against my Armageddon, besides his iron golems, which requires my phoenixes to hit as well. No matter, still easy. Torosar, just quick combating this fool. No need to waste time. Next DD takes me right outside of Blue's town, guarded by a single stone gargoyle. Easy quick combat. And Blue is gone. 2 enemy factions in 1 day? I am efficiency. Day 3, and I have endless movement points. Using both fly and DD, I make my way to Green's town, taking out Voy before Vergis makes a decent attempt behind her fortifications. Unlucky for her, Armageddon just wipes her army, defenses, and entire lineage out. Sorry girl. This leaves the final green hero, Korvac. I make sure I have 2 casts of Armageddon left and that I haven't made any mistakes before I take him on. 1 cast removes everything but his 2 large null stacks. Cast 2 removes any chance of me losing this fight. And while his nulls are durable as hell due to Korvac's defense and armor, they are too few to have any reasonable chance to take out my phoenixes. This means that I've done it! I've managed to be good to go in 3 days. I'm quite satisfied, but as you can maybe tell, the video isn't finished yet. But I'm not gonna be able to do it in 2 days. I'm gonna try speedrunning instead. Speedrunning in the traditional sense is about finishing a game, map, scenario, fight or whatever in as little time as possible. I've finished this scenario in as few in-game days as I believe is possible, but how quickly can I do it in real time? It should be noted that this is the standard HD mod, no extra mods, no Horn of the Abyss, no Wake of Gods. Everything you see me do, you can do as well with the HD mod. I also forgot to increase enemy movement speed to max, but it shouldn't have too much of an impact, I hope. Anyway, let's get down to business. For some reason, I couldn't find the same exact seed as I used for my 3-day win. It looks the same, but the enemy behaves a little bit differently. When doing this, I just learned that entering different scenarios impacts other scenario seeds. So to find this seed I'm using here, I had to enter Barbarian Breakout Allied twice before starting Good to Go. It's very weird, but old games tend to be a little bit odd like this, I think. Everything is set up, timer is set up, I'm ready, let's go. I start the time from when I hit the begin button. To reach my seed, I need to reset once after the elves fight. I buy my movement artifacts, then head straight for orange. Obviously not forgetting the phoenixes as well. I kinda need those. Since, you know, we're trying to keep up the pace here. We're using the same fight strategy as in the 3-day win against Oris. Just lightning bolt, and more lightning bolt, and magic arrow, and hitting them with the phoenixes, the goblins. Has to be kind of devastating to be Oris and see that you lose against 2 phoenixes, which are kind of weak for a tier 7 unit, with 200 goblins, but who am I to judge? If I had any animation speed up mods, this fight would be over a few seconds ago, but it's alright. Compared to the 3-day win, this quicker finish with the quick combat saves a few seconds anyway. Flying up and picking up Armageddon's blade, I smoke Yogg and head straight for green. This is the deviation from the previous playthrough. I couldn't get green to behave in the way I wanted them to, so this deviation was needed. I stopped by the magic spring so I don't have to wait in town for mana the next day. Fortress Town is taken easily, one more dimension door, and Korvac is double Armageddon again. Just like last time, his nose survived the first Armageddon quite convincingly. He hastes one of them and it just charges at me. I just stay put and cast Armageddon again, and the fight plays out in almost the exact same way as in the 3-day win, even though we went for green before blue. Now for blue. DD down and siege their town. Arrow towers are just ruthless, but Armageddon plus quick combat seals the deal quickly. Final battle is also quick combated. I hit the button on 151.52. Pretty fast, but definitely not as fast as possible. There are several places to improve, but overall, I'm happy. If I was an actual speedrunner, I could maybe try to do it in about 1:30. I suspect something like that. But maybe you can beat me? This was a fun challenge, something I will definitely do more of. Do you have any suggestions for small or maybe medium maps I could try to speedrun? Both in in-game days and real time? I'm mapping out knee deep in the dead at the moment, which I think should be possible to speedrun quickly, I hope. Maybe you have tried to speedrun any small or medium maps? Let me know. I'm open to any suggestions you have. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment and a subscription, and I will see you again next time. Have a nice day.